So let's get to it. Got a lot of people joining in now. Hello, welcome. Gonna spin this around so we can look at some of these graphics here, and you can see the rain coming in. Now, just to give you a color-coded key here, all the orange, the red, that's going to be the heaviest rain coming in. And you see it's mostly hitting the northern San Joaquin Valley, now pressing its way just a little bit more to the central San Joaquin Valley, but eventually making its way into the Sierra with heavy snow dumping in the Sierra. This is this line that I've been talking about from Jackson all the way to Rancho Calaveras. It was through Stockton and Modesto, but now starting to push its way east up into the foothills and the Sierra. Looking at some of those snow levels that we had snow in Groveland, we had snow in Sonora, we had snow in Murphy's. Now everything has turned over to rain. Lots of water coming into some of those smaller watersheds. Be prepared for some of it overflowing. And then for Arnold, it is snow, but it's a heavier wet snow right now. Thanks for everybody confirming that you could hear me, because I've done that before. I haven't had the audio on, so I just wanted to make sure. Traveling through the 80-50 corridor, we are getting rain right now for Roseville, Folsom, Auburn. It is rain. It is now rain for Placerville. The other day, we had snow there. Forest Hill, it is still a wet, heavy snow. Grass Valley, rain. Pollock Pines, snow. Blue Canyon as well, all the way up into the Sierra. And these conditions are going to be really creating some hazardous conditions. Let me show you why. Here's the low sitting off the coast, and it's been practically stationary through the day. And that is causing a lot of problems because it's pulling in all of this moisture from down south up to California. So there's ample opportunity for moisture coming in from the Pacific, streaming into, right now, central and parts of Southern California, but it's kind of on the fringe there. But if you remember, that area right there was hit hard by summer wildfires, and all of that vegetation was stripped from the landscape off the hills. There's not much to hold the mud, the debris from coming down the hill. We're going to be watching that very closely. Man, I am still looking at all these people without power since 10:30 last night, Monique, and oh my gosh, wow. Oh, Kotati didn't lose power. Yeah, it was weird. Some people did, some people didn't. Okay, let's look at some of these rainfall totals. Now, keep in mind, this is just since midnight. Over an inch for Stockton. New totals will be coming in here in just about 20 minutes or so. Almost 2 inches for Modesto, close to an inch for Vacaville, about 3/4 of an inch for Sacramento, as well as Placerville, over 1/2 inch for Auburn and Marysville, Oroville. I think that monitoring site is down, because I did hear from one of our viewers, and they said, oh, I just wanted to tell you, by the way, we did get 3/4 of an inch of rain. So thanks a lot to, let me see who it was. It was Dave Murphy, reported 3/4 of an inch of rain in Oroville. So thanks so much. A lot of these data spots were down from the wind and rain. They are not they are not excluded from damage from wind. Snow totals, this was from earlier today. Dodge Ridge, 24 inches, still coming down heavy. Soda Springs and Squaw Valley, about 15 inches of snow. Grass Valley got 2 inches before started to see that turn over to rain. And then, and speaking of, Monique wondering if we're getting any more snow for Nevada City. Right now, it looks like it's going to stay steady as rain. In fact, that second system coming in will be rain as well. Redding, 5 inches of snow. I-5 shut down just north of Redding because of the snow coming down there late last night. Let's take a look at some of these peak wind gusts. Impressive to say the least. We haven't had these types of winds widespread like this for about 10 years plus. It was back in about 2008, 2009. Roughly was the last time that we had widespread activity like this with winds. Alpine Meadows, 125. McClellan Air Force Base, the old one, 67 miles per hour. Vacaville, Lincoln, Stockton, 58. And you can see throughout almost everywhere, everybody was just hit hard throughout the valley. 68 mile per hour peak wind gusts for Fairfield as well. And isolated areas in the foothills really taking the brunt of this storm right on the east side of the valley. It was almost like a strip right here, close to 99. And then the Sierra spotty, but had some gusts well over 100 miles per hour. Currently, winds still, it's not like it's calm out there. It's still close to about 10 to 20 miles per hour. We'll see an occasional gust to 30 35. Overall, though, again, winds not the big story for tonight. It's the amount of rain that we're going to see with very little break. It's been raining steady throughout the afternoon into the early evening, and that will continue with periods of more moderate rain through tomorrow morning. As snow will be coming in heavy throughout this course, and that's going to be a problem. We'll talk about some of the watches and warnings that are out there. Here's a look at the flash flood watch. I mentioned those burn scars. Let me just show you some of the locations that we're talking about. So here's I-80. This is Vacaville, Fairfield, off towards the Bay Area. Remember, just north of I-80, just off to the west of 580, we had that really bad fire, the LNU complex fire, and then SCU complex was just around the Tracy area, just off to the west of I-5. That was getting all that smoke into the Central Valley. Well, think about it. All the trees, all the shrubs, the grasses were just scarred and taken out of the landscape. Well, those would normally absorb some of the rain. Without that, it has a real potential for sliding down the hill, just big clumps of dirt, boulders sliding down. There's nothing to hold it in. We'll continue to watch that through Thursday evening, so through tomorrow evening. Now, our blizzard warning for the high country, that's going to continue until 4 o'clock tomorrow, 4 o'clock Friday morning. Oh, I wish tomorrow was Friday. 2 to 8 feet of snow by the time the system is done, with near impossible travel continuing through this time frame. What happened to all the snow? We were supposed to get around 3,500 feet in El Dorado County. So we did get the low snow last night into early this morning, but then it quickly turned over to rain. We were talking about how those snow levels were quickly going to rise as some of that warmer air started to entrench in that storm. So that snow level was going to be creeping up the hill about 4,000 feet or snow, 4,000 feet or so for the snow. One more thing to let you know about our winter storm warning. That is in effect through Friday morning as well. Thunder snow possible. Could hear a couple rumbles of thunder up there. Expect road closures as well. So you may be wondering, okay, so how are we doing in terms of our rainfall? Well, these are some of our numbers since October 1st. That's the beginning of our water year here in California. We've had over 3 inches of rain, closing in on about 4 inches for many valley locations and even for the Bay Area. Over 7 inches for Redding, 12 inches plus for Eureka, Ukiah, with about 7 3/4 inches of rain. But when you look at how we are comparing to normal, we're down by 3 to over 7 inches of rain for parts of Northern California, 10 inches behind, almost 11 inches behind for Redding. Ukiah is over 12 inches behind in rain. So one of these, what we call atmospheric rivers, doesn't get us out of huge deficits that we accumulated over the course of the winter. The low finally will start to move its way inland tomorrow. Expect periods of heavy rain tonight through early tomorrow. Once this low starts to move its way east, we'll still see the snow piling up through early Friday morning, getting a break Friday night. A little weather event will be to the north of us, so places like Redding, Red Bluff, up towards Shasta, getting a bit more precipitation, a few scattered light snow showers possible for this Euro, but that next weather event is going to be sitting off the coast. That heads our way by the end of the weekend, by late Sunday. Our rainfall totals, about 1 inch to 1.5 inches coming in through at least Friday, about 2 to 3 inches of rain for the foothills. And then as we look at some of these snow numbers and just discount some of these numbers that are lower elevations like Applegate, the snow line is moving up. So even though Forest Hill may have gotten some snow, it is going to be on the cusp of actually turning to rain. So I would focus more on what these higher elevations are looking like, because those are going to be far more representative of this storm as it starts to get some warmer air coming in. Bear Valley, about 60 inches of snow. Twain Harte, we could see more snow, but Groveland, we've already seen it turn over to rain. So that weather model is trying to play around with rain numbers that are snow numbers, and it just sends it all askew. Our 10-day forecast, you can see here, our break on Saturday, more rain coming in later on Sunday through Monday, Tuesday. Then we start to head into this much drier weather pattern. In fact, let me go to... I want to go to show you what is going to be happening here. So the eastern United States is actually going to be coming more wet in the forecast, but you can see across the west coast, we're actually getting quite a bit drier. So this is going to be more representative of what we call our La Nina pattern, which tends to favor a much drier scenario throughout California. And it looks like that will be starting to take shape with a high pressure ridge, which will bring sinking air, not necessarily warmer. It is going to stay on the cooler side, but it will be pushing most of the rain up north of us. That'll be more of a longer term forecast, like I said, deeper into this 10-day forecast that I was just showing you, how we get through one more weather event late Sunday through Monday, Tuesday, and then we start to dry things out. And by the way, warm up as well. You can see some of these numbers are finally getting back into the 50s, but those overnights are going to be quite cool. Nothing like what we saw with the hard freeze, but there you go. So a lot to cover here. We've been very, very busy here in the weather department. And our news department as well, just trying to get people information on some of the storm damage and everything going on with this latest round of storm activity.